Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Pārthāya pratibodhitāṃ bhagavata nārāyaṇena svayam vyāsena grathitāṃ purāṇa munina madhye mahābhāratam advaitāṃ mrutavarṣinim bhagavatim ashtādasādhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami bhagavadgite bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Paartha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahābhārate. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 18th Adhyay, and today is going to be the last Shloka, our recitation of the last Shloka of this 18th Adhyay of Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. We have had a wonderful reading. I thoroughly enjoyed. I don't know about the viewers of all these videos, but it was a wonderful delight for me, like it was a delight for Sanjay, and Sanjay is just not able to come out of that rejoice, that come out of that delight, come out of that happiness, come out of that bliss that he has been enjoying ever since he has listened to this wonderful discourse, wonderful dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. He has not able to come out of that to pleasure, that bliss, that happiness, that the delight that he saw, he got on seeing that wonderful cosmic form of the Lord, the Vishwarupa Darshan. And he is telling Dhritarashtra, on Dhritarashtra maybe there is absolutely no impact at all, and he is telling Dhritarashtra, again and again I am enjoying that delight. Again and again I am enjoying the pleasure of having listened to that dialogue. That means Sanjay has definitely understood what Krishna told Arjuna, what went on between Krishna and Arjuna. He has got the entire context of the talk. He has got the gist of all the teachings that Sri Krishna gave and all the teachings that Arjuna assimilated, and even Sanjay assimilated those teachings. Now Sanjay knows, now this dialogue is over. Now Arjuna has also consented that whatever you say I am going to do. Karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna has told Krishna what he was at the end of the first chapter, that unfortunate situation that Arjuna had landed himself because suddenly that veil of delusion, veil of ignorance has fallen on his intellect. Now that veil has gone. He is free from any doubts. All the delusion has gone to the winds. Arjuna is firm now, very extremely steady, and now he says, I am going to do what you have asked me to do. So Sanjay knows this war is going to happen. There was a hope. There was hope in his mind to some extent that as he was narrating this dialogue, as he was narrating this great knowledge about the Sankhya, about the Bhakti, about the Karma, about the Yoga to Dhritarashtra, Sanjay might be at somewhere in a corner of his mind, he had that faint hope that Dhritarashtra, having understood the teachings of Krishna, he will send a message to his son Duryodhana, enough of this now, you come back, give this throne to the Pandavas, let them be the kings of Hastinapur. But that didn't happen at all. Dhritarashtra, like he was blind with the eyes, his mind also had got inaccessible to any of the wonderful words of the Lord. His intellect was inaccessible to the wonderful and the holiest of the holy teachings of the Lord, most practical teachings of the Lord. The words had just fallen on his ears, that's it. And then Sanjay realized that there has been no impact on my Rajan. Although I am telling him twice, I have told him again and again. I am remembering those wonderful things. Sansprutya Rajan. Again and again I am remembering that wonderful dialogue. Again and again I am recollecting that wonderful vision I have had. But on the Rajan, on Dhritarashtra, there is absolutely no impact. And finally, having realized this, that now is the thing that nobody can stop this war of Mahābhārata. It is beyond. With Dhritarashtra also having not understood. Now the war is going to happen. And what is going to be the outcome of the war? That indirectly Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra in this 78th Shloka. 78th Shloka of the Moksha Sannyasa Yuga. This is the last verse of this last adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Yatra yogeśvaraḥ kṛṣṇo, yatra pārtho dhanurdharaḥ, tatra śrīrvijayo bhūtirdhruvā nītirmatirmama. Now Sanjay, he has given his final verdict on the outcome of this entire war of Mahābhārata. In clear-cut terms, he is not trying to hide his feelings, his understanding about this entire scenario. Otherwise, we see when talking to a great king, the subordinates, they will try to somehow dilute the matter, dilute the content. And they will talk in a way with using the words which will be pleasant to the king, pleasant to the higher authorities. But Sanjay is not a man of that type. Sanjay has realized the import of the teachings of Sri Krishna to Arjuna. Sanjay has understood what is to be done. And now Sanjay, in absolute frankness, he tells Dhritarashtra that yatra yogeśvaraḥ kṛṣṇo, wherever is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, the master of Yoga, the generator of the yoga system as such, under whose command are all the entire yoga system, that yogeśvaraḥ, wherever Lord Krishna, the yogeśvaraḥ is, and yatra pārtho dhanurdharaḥ, and wherever that mighty wielder of bow, Paartha, is there, wherever Lord Krishna, the generator of the yogas, the Lord of the yoga is there, wherever the most wonderful disciple, Paartha, the greatest wielder of bow, the most wonderful archer, the grand master of the warfare of archery. So wherever Krishna is there, wherever Arjuna is there, now you look at the adjectives that Sanjay has used here. For Krishna, he uses the adjective of yogeśvaraḥ, one who is the master of all the yogas. Because this entire Gita has nothing but the description of all the yoga systems for the elevation of the self. All the yogic sciences for leading us towards liberation. Whether it is Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, all these yogas, all these yogic systems, they are under the control of Lord Krishna. He is the Lord of Yoga. So the epithet, the adjective used for Krishna is yogeśvaraḥ. And Paartha, of course, dhanurdharaḥ. the mighty archer, the wielder of the bow. There is no way, a person on this earth who can come anywhere near Arjuna to fight in that archery, in that battle of archery. So Sanjay now knows this war is inevitable. So here we have the yogeśvaraḥ who is guiding the chariot of Arjuna, who is a charioteer of Arjuna, showing him the path, taking him on this path. He is the charioteer. And he is also the yogeśvaraḥ. And the mighty archer Arjuna, nothing to say about it. So Sanjay says, wherever there is Lord Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever there is Arjuna, the mighty archer, dhanurdharaḥ, tatra śrīrvijayo bhūtir. There are prosperity. Srihi is prosperity. Sri is the term used for goddess Lakshmi, who is the goddess of prosperity. So wherever these two are together, there is going to be prosperity, Shri. There is going to be victory, Vijaya. Tatra śrīrvijayo bhūtirdhruvā. Bhutir is there going to happen. There is victory. There is expansion of the righteousness. And dhruvaha is firm. Dhruvaha nītihi. Firm and steady and strong policy. Not the clumsy policies which were rampant during the time of Kauravas. They were ruling the state of, ruling the kingdom of Hastinapur. They were all unruly. Now Sanjay is telling, whenever these two come together, there is going to be prosperity. These two together are going to see the victory. Whenever these two are together, the Lord Krishna and Arjuna, whenever they are together, the perfect teacher, the supreme teacher, and the wonderful disciple, whenever they are together, there is going to be nothing but prosperity. There is going to be nothing but victory. There is going to be nothing but the expansion of the righteousness. Bhutihi is the happiness all around. Happiness and the rejoicement and the enlightenment and the delight and the expansion of the good living of the righteousness, and dhruva nītihi, the sound policies. It is not that these are some haphazard policies, policy decisions are going to be made for running the country, for governing the country. These are all firm and steady policies which are going to last forever, which are going to see to the prosperity of the kingdom also. Not only to the kingdom, but also prosperity of the people staying in that kingdom. Prosperity of the people staying in that kingdom, victory of the people staying in that kingdom, and the happiness of the people staying in that kingdom, and the firm ruling, the firm nītihi, the firm policies. So this is what now matihi mama, this is my firm conviction, Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra. That he said, maybe you have a soft corner for your sons, but this is what, having understood, having reflected upon the teachings of Krishna, having reflected upon the change that has brought in Arjuna in that towards the end of the 18th chapter, from what he was in the first chapter, at the end of first chapter, I don't know, I can't say anything. I would have said Arjuna is running away from fighting the war, from waging this battle. That is what Sanjay might have thought. But towards the end, there is total change in Arjuna, having grasped the teachings of Krishna. Such a wonderful change has come in him. And see the change in Sanjaya, that point blank he is telling Dhritarashtra, this is going to be the outcome wherever Krishna and Arjuna are together. Wherever these two, wherever the Lord of Yoga and the mighty archer, they are together, this is what going to be the outcome, and this is exactly what is going to happen at the end of the war. This is an indication that Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra that ultimately after the war there is going to be prosperity for this kingdom. There is going to be victory because these two are together. Yatra yogeśvaraḥ Krishna, yatra pārtho dhanurdharaḥ. Wherever these two, this mighty teacher and mighty student, whenever this combination comes together, there is going to be nothing but prosperity, nothing but victory, nothing but happiness and a sound policy. No haphazard way of working, no no predicaments for that matter. No delusions for that matter. It is going to be a sound policy, that is dhruva nitihi. And Sanjay finally concludes with saying, this is my conviction. It is not just a prophecy that I am saying anything might happen, this might happen, this can happen, this will happen. This is my conviction. So with this, Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra what is going to be the outcome of this Mahabharata war. Your sons are not at all in the mood of listening to what Krishna has advised in the beginning. Before this, the two warring armies, they came on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Krishna wanted to avoid this war, but Dhritarashtra was adamant. The Duryodhana was so much adamant, and he had the backing of all his brothers. Unfortunately, he also had the backing of the great sages like Pitamaha Bhishma, Ganga Putra, who was the epitome of morality, who was a mighty warrior in his own sense. But even such grand warriors, Pitamaha Bhishma, their own guru Dronacharya, Krupacharya, although they were siding Duryodhana, Sanjay knew that wherever Krishna and Arjuna are together, nobody can equal the might of this duo of the teacher and the pupil. No one can come near their might, whether it is Bhishma or Drona or Krupacharya or Kansa or Karna or any of these mighty warriors from the Kaurava camp. Just the two of them, the Krishna, yogeśvaraḥ Krishna, yatra yogeśvaraḥ Krishna, yatra pārtho dhanurdharaḥ. This combination is unbeatable. And in clear-cut terms, Sanjay says, this is my firm conviction. Mama matihi. So that was the concluding shloka of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Now, though this statement belongs to Sanjaya as it ought to be, it is one of the governing principles of the Bhagavad Gita. This is what actually, if we go through the entire Gita, this is what, this actually one of the summaries of Bhagavad Gita, that this combination of the Lord of Yoga and the perfect warrior, the mighty archer, when these two come together, there can never be any defeat. There will be victory, there will be prosperity, there will be sound policy. These two have to come to whenever these two are together, the outcome is going to be on these positive notes. Since Sri Krishna is Lord of Yoga, all the four Purusharthas, the Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha, they emanate from him. Of these four, whichever comes in plenty to the Jivatman may be viewed as a form of yoga. Now, whichever of these four Purusharthas, they come to the Jivatman. Now, being the Lord of Yoga, all these generate the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. They generate from the Lord. They come from the Lord. They come from the Purusha. And the Jivatma partakes of these as per its own capabilities, as per his or her capabilities. Jivatma cannot be he or her. It is the body which becomes he or her. So the Jivatman then itself partakes of these capabilities of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And then if the element of moksha is higher, there is absolutely no worries. If element of kama is more, there is plenty of worry then for that jivatman, because the cycle of birth and death is going to increase. That cycle is going to get extended for millions and millions of birth. Dharma, still better. And artha, anyway. I mean, it is a matter of how that element of purushartha as artha is brought into functionality. If it is only greed, then it is a bad situation. But because artha is nothing but the monetary behavior. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Now whichever is predominant in the jivatman, I mean in that jiva, that is the outcome of the next birth for the jivatman. But moksha in particular is hailed as the goal of yoga. Now, yoga system has to undergo dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But the moment moksha predominates, the tendency towards moksha predominates in the jiva, that is the ultimate. And that is how it leads to salvation from the repeated cycles of birth and death. Arjuna presented in the first chapter the spectacle of having renounced his bow and arrow. That is what happened to Arjuna in the first chapter. And slowly he was groomed by Krishna, step by step, through Sankhya Yoga, through Karma Yoga, through Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and all step by step, Sri Krishna took him along. And finally, what Arjuna had just slumped, he had given up all the hopes. It was a hopeless situation for Arjuna in the first chapter. Towards the end, he was all ready to wield his bow again and wage the war. Whatever you tell me, I will do. That is what finally he told Sri Krishna. The yoga power of Sri Krishna combined with the excellent manliness of Arjuna would make the impossible possible. And just imagine, we all as Arjunas, we all recipient of that great teaching of Krishna, can we get up ourselves into that position of telling Krishna that, oh Krishna, with your grace, all my delusion has gone. Oh Krishna, with your grace, all my memory has come back. I have regained my lost memory, who I am. I had lost that memory of who I am. I had lost that memory of where from I have come. I have lost my memory of what I am supposed to do. And with your grace, I have understood everything now. All the delusion has gone. All the doubts are vanished. And now I will do what you have told me to do. So this is, if we, all of us, we can get into that state, nothing like that. Now just see the situation of Dhritarashtra. There was no change in him. It is at least after hearing this inevitable fact that Dhritarashtra ought to have changed his stubborn attitude, but no, he was blind to the core. If it was shown, his character in the Mahābhārata is shown as he is physically challenged, he cannot see. He could not see outward, he could not see inward. That was also the biggest exposition of his character. He could not see inward. It is certain that his sons would not be victorious in the war. The loss of lives and property would be on a colossal scale. Now the outcome is there. And Sanjay knows this. Sanjay categorically told this to Dhritarashtra towards the end in this last verse, that this is what is going to happen. Wherever Krishna and Arjuna are together, there is no chance for people like your sons. There is no chance for people like Duryodhana and Dushasan to have any chance of survival. There, with these two coming together, the yogeśvaraḥ Krishna and dhanurdharaḥ Paartha, there is only going to be the Shri, the prosperity, the victory, the happiness, and the strong policy. Nothing else. That will only survive this nation. That will only survive this kingdom. And for that to happen, yogeśvaraḥ Krishna and dhanurdharaḥ Paartha, they have to come together. They have to be together, and they have to dwell together. So this was Sanjay's last verse in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And let us, before closing, see what Sri Ramakrishna had told about this. Sri Ramakrishna says, "The sunlight falls uniformly and equally on all objects, but it is not revealed in its original grandeur by all things." Exactly. The teachings of Sri Krishna, Sanjay could assimilate, but not Dhritarashtra. Sanjay could assimilate, Sanjay could understand, Sanjay could extract the essence of Sri Krishna's teachings, but there was no effect on Dhritarashtra, and therefore Sri Ramakrishna says that sun's rays fall equally on everything. All the objects of this creation, sun's rays fall, but it is not revealed in its original grandeur by all things. Water, glass, polished metals receive and reflect it brilliantly. Sun's rays are reflected by glass mirrors. Sun's rays are reflected by the water surfaces also. And also the polished metals. A brass pot which is polished nicely. Also, or stainless steel pot which is nicely cleaned and polished. It will reflect the sun's rays. Such is also the case with the brilliance of the divine grace. It is available to all equally without partiality. So, Lord's teachings, yogeśvaraḥ Krishna's teachings, are not for any select few, are not only for Arjuna or Sanjaya. The same teachings are also heard by Dhritarashtra, but on him there is no impact. Lord's teachings are same for all, for the entire creation. It is on the metal of which the beings are made up of. That determines, are we going to reflect the Lord's teachings? It is available to all equally and without partiality. Still, it gets best reflected in the hearts of the good and the holy, and the best availed by those blessed ones. It is only in those holy, pious, sattvic souls where these teachings, they are truly reflected, not by others. They also are, there is no partiality in the Lord, showering His grace. Lord's grace is always same to all. Lord's teachings are always same to all. But who can partake of it? Who can extract the essence of it? Very few. The Lord incarnates on earth for the guidance of the good and devoted and the virtuous ones. Those apostles that accompany an incarnation of the divine are either already perfected ones or those that are born for the last time before their liberation. Whenever the Lord incarnates, Lord always brings with Him all that the team, all the team with Him. Some of them, they already know that yes, they have to come with the Lord. In order for the Lord to give His teachings share His teachings to the humanity, Lord comes with His team of His pupils, His subordinates, His disciples. And this play goes on. With every incarnation of the Lord, there will be some strong disciples which the apostles, which the Lord also brings. And through them, Lord starts imparting teachings. Like Krishna brought Arjuna with him. And incidentally, Sanjay also happened to get those teachings which Sri Krishna had directly imparted to Arjuna. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna says. This is what happens every time Lord incarnates to spread the teachings. The Lord will bring one of his, his team together. It is not that Lord will just come alone and, deliver the sermons and then vanish and vacate the place. No. The Lord comes with his disciples. And therefore, this yatra yogeśvaraḥ Krishna, yatra pārtho, the Paartha dhanurdharaḥ. The teacher and the student, the incarnation and the disciple, they came together for the benefit of the mankind. And therefore, we have listened to this wonderful dialogue, the holiest of the holy dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. And like Sanjay partook of it, Sanjay took the biggest benefit out of it. Let us also try to extract, let us also try to assimilate whatever best we can to the best of our capabilities. Iti Shri mahābhārate satasahasryām samhitāyām vaiyasikyām śrīrvijayo Bhagavad supaniṣatsu brahmavidyāyām yogasastre Krishṇārjuna samvade moksha yogo nama ashtadashodhyāyah. In Sri Mahabharata, consisting of a lakh of stanzas composed by Vyasa, in the section called Bhishma Parva, the Upanishad of Bhagavad Gita supaniṣatsu, brahmavidyāyām, the knowledge of Brahman, yogasastre, the supreme, the science of yoga, and Sri Kṛṣṇārjuna samvade, the wonderful dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. This is the 18th discourse, ashtadashodhyāyah moksha yoga nama. This is the 18th discourse designated the yoga of liberation by renunciation, the yoga of liberation by tyaga, by sannyasa, yoga of moksha through sannyasa or through tyaga. So that is our reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Shri Kṛṣṇārpanastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Kṛṣṇārpanastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.